Today is March 11th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 steps and 12 traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we are beginning a new chapter, Chapter 5, How It Works. We'll be reading the first page of it, page 58. Out of the 12 and 12, we're still on step 8. We'll be reading page 80. And of course, we'll read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope you all are doing well this morning, my friends. Life is good over here. As I'm recording this, it's a little bit later in the morning. I've been doing some chores around the house, got the laundry going. So if that sneaks into the audio, I apologize. But yeah, I'm filled up with some caffeine here. Wife and I just got back from breakfast, and man, life is good. What a blessing it is to be sober and free today. So with that, let's get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So if you recall from yesterday's reading, we were talking about the atheist that now believes. We've had a great setup for these last few chapters of, talking about the doctor's opinion, the craving, talking about the physical allergy, talking about prejudice, talking about discarding old ideas for new, lots of demonstrations of, what the alcoholic is like. So that all set the stage for this right here. Finally, we're at the nuts and bolts of the entire program here. And I just absolutely love this chapter. So we're going to read page 58 today. This is the first page in chapter 5, How It Works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who's thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. At some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way. But we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol. Cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. And tomorrow we'll get to the steps themselves on page 59. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on step 8. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. The last day or two, we've been talking about some of the obstacles that can come our way when doing step 8. Fear and pride kind of conspire together, only focusing on what they've done to us, purposeful forgetting. So we are going to finish off page 80. While the purpose of making restitution to others is paramount, it is equally necessary that we extricate from an examination of our personal relations every bit of information about ourselves and our fundamental difficulties that we can. Since defective relations with other human beings have nearly always been the immediate cause of our own woes, including our alcoholism, no field of investigation could yield more satisfying and valuable rewards than this one. Calm, thoughtful reflection upon personal relations can deepen our insight. We can go far beyond those things which were superficially wrong with us to see those flaws which were basic, flaws which sometimes were responsible for the whole pattern of our lives. thoroughness, we have found, will pay and pay handsomely. We might next ask ourselves what we mean when we say that we have harmed other people. What kinds of harm do people do one another anyway? To define the word harm in a practical way, we might call it the result of instincts in collision, which cause physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual damage to people. If our tempers are consistently bad, we arouse anger in others. If we lie or cheat, we deprive others not only of their worldly goods, but of their emotional security and peace of mind. We really issue them an invitation to become contemptuous and vengeful. If our sex conduct is selfish, we may excite jealousy, misery, and a strong desire to retaliate in kind. "24 hours a day, March 11th. AA Thought for the Day. By having quiet times each morning, we come to depend on God's help during the day, especially if we should be tempted to take a drink. And we can honestly thank Him each night for the strength He has given us. So our faith is strengthened by these quiet times of prayer. By listening to other members, by working with other alcoholics, by times of quiet meditation, our faith in God gradually becomes strong. Have I turned my drinking problem entirely over to God without reservations? Meditation for the day. It seems as though when God wants to express to us what He is like, He makes a very beautiful character. Think of a personality as God's expression of character attributes. Be as fit an expression of God-like character as you can. When the beauty of a person's character is impressed upon us, it leaves an image, which in turn reflects through their own actions. So look for beauty of character in those around you. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may look at great souls until the beauty of their character becomes a part of my soul. I pray that I may reflect this character in my own life. Daily Reflection, March 11th. Good, orderly direction. It is when we try to make our own will conform to God's will that we begin to use it rightly. To all of us, this was a most wonderful revelation. Our whole trouble had been the misuse of willpower. We try to bombard our problems with it instead of attempting to bring it into agreement with God's intention for us. To make this increasingly possible is the purpose of AA's 12 steps, and step 3 opens that door. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 40. All I have to do is look back at my past to see where my self-will has led me. I just don't know what's best for me, and I believe that my higher power does. God, G-O-D, which I defined as good, orderly direction, has never let me down. But I have let myself down quite often. Using my self-will in a situation usually has the same result as forcing the wrong piece into a jigsaw puzzle: exhaustion and frustration. Step 3 opens the door to the rest of the program. When I ask God for guidance, I know that whatever happens is the best possible situation. Things are exactly as they are supposed to be, even if they aren't what I want or expect. God does do for me what I cannot do for myself, if I let Him. All right, my friends, so that concludes today's reading, and some great stuff. Man, I could think of something to say for every single one of them, but we're already over 10 minutes, so I better make this quick. I can't not talk about the beginning of chapter 5, how it works. I love this. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. So this is the first paragraph of the chapter, right? Rigorous honesty. The last word, once again, in the first paragraph is honest. Many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Second paragraph. If you're willing to go to any length to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. So I already see honesty, willingness, and then right here, having an open mind. Here it is. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. So right there, honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. And I love that the reminder of how powerful alcohol is. Remember that we deal with alcohol. Cunning, baffling, powerful. And a couple of my friends would also add patient and, well, an expletive that I can't say. Next line, without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Perhaps that's the spiritual awakening and spiritual experience. But how do we necessarily get to that? Half measures availed us nothing. So once again, a reminder, let's keep working at it. Let's be thorough. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. So we're letting go again of those old ideas and old prejudices. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. So now we're going to get to the nuts and bolts, the 12 steps here. And of course, each one of these is powerful in itself. And it's like the rungs of a ladder, right? When I first did read the big book, I thought reading the big book was doing the steps. I didn't really understand how you do the steps, how you work the steps, until I got a sponsor that kind of walked me through it. And I had to do some writing. And again, I had to be honest, rigorously honest. I had to be open-minded. And I had to be willing and continue to learn and work and learn and work. I have learned through experience that these steps have been a vehicle for me to have a much, much closer relationship with my higher power. Because over time, thanks to these 12 suggestions, I've lived a more honest life of integrity and peace. And a lot of the old stuff that I was wrestling with, my higher power has taken away. And he's given me other things in their place, some good things. It's just amazing. So I cannot wait to get to these steps tomorrow and the follow-up of that on the next page. But, I think I said this yesterday. For me, the big book's kind of been like God for Dummies, where I love the Bible and I do my own Bible studies and everything like that. I also love the big book because for me, it takes the knowledge that I've learned about my higher power and puts it into actionable steps that I can understand. That give me a greater appreciation for my higher power in the first place. But I don't know. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, my friends, that's enough of my rambling for one day. I hope you all have a great day today. And if you are sober today, I hope you know that you're a miracle and you're giving a great gift to those around you. And we have a unique superpower to help the next suffering alcoholic. And what an opportunity and blessing that is. And if you're not sober today, my friend, I hope you know that you're a miracle. You have value. And you are worthy of recovery. Your story is not done yet. Today could be the very first step toward a new chapter, and you don't have to do it alone. There are people that want to help. So I hope that you get the help that you need today. But as always, my friends, I don't speak on behalf of AA, NA, Al-Anon, any other sect. I am just a joyful drunk. Honored to be here today. And if we are given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.